Good morning, everyone. So as was said, I work here in the Office of Student Activities. For about 8 years, I've been doing that, and for the vast majority of that time, I've been working with all of our student organizations here at Penn State. So I've been asked to talk with you about the organizational culture within our organizations here. So culture has carried a lot of heavy weight here at Penn State over the past several years. It can carry both a really positive meaning, but can also carry really intense and challenging meanings. So I'm hoping together we can examine what our organizational culture here is in order to make positive change. So thinking back, what are the first things you tend to hear about when you first step on campus and even before? You hear about Penn State football, Thon, Greek recruitment, get involved. Getting involved is really important, right? So we boast and brag about the fact we have over 1,000 student organizations here. And we talk about how that's such a great thing, and we have this overall societal culture of wanting to be the biggest and the best. And to be honest, though, I don't really think that's all that great a thing, having over 1,000 student organizations. So you ask why? There are a lot of reasons. 2 that I'm going to highlight here today with you are resources. And when I talk about resources, I mean venues on campus, meeting rooms, money, staff, support. It's just stretched so thin. A perfect example is recently a student organization reached out to me with a concern about the fact they've historically had to reserve practice performance space off campus because they haven't been able to find both the appropriate and affordable venue that they would need on campus. And even at this point, they're having trouble fundraising enough to maintain that space off campus. So our resources, they're just stretched so thin. The other reason is just it's not sustainable. Or people come here as first-year students, really excited about something, they start their own organization, but then they don't learn how to create a really solid infrastructure in order to maintain longevity. And unfortunately, they tend to die out. So how can we address this? I believe that in concert, you as members of organizations and working with those of us here at the university to support you, working together, we can find a way to make positive change. So when I say working together, I mean students working with students, faculty and staff working with students, and then faculty and staff working with faculty staff. So what is culture? We're talking about Penn State cultures, student organizational cultures. Some say that organizations have cultures. Some say that organizations are cultures. But boiled down, organizational culture is, quote unquote, the way we do things around here, right? It can be both a product and a process. As a product, organizational culture is gained knowledge that we then learn through shared experiences. As a process, it's renewed and recreating information as new members that we then share down the line with even newer members. It's about developing beliefs, values, and customs. So now let's put that in the context of student organizations here at Penn State. What are our beliefs, values, and customs? You want to put what you're doing in the classroom to work now. We have 296 academic and professional organizations here. You believe in the value of the arts. We have 82 music and performing arts groups. You want to join a Greek chapter. We have 84 social fraternities and sororities. You believe in the value of staying fit and continue to compete on a national level. We have 80 club sports. You want to bring your customs and cultures from your home countries to the US. We have 76 international and multicultural organizations. You believe in engaging in service. We have 41 service groups. You believe in the power of philanthropy. We have 63 philanthropic groups. There are so many organizations that we have that basically have the same identical mission and purpose. And this isn't just one particular type of organization. This cuts across a lot of the different categories of organizations. I'm not singling any particular category out. Why can we not leverage our resources? Why can't we unite under one mission and purpose? So here's my obligatory quote for the day. Mother Teresa said, "I can do things you cannot, You can do things. I cannot. Together, we can do great things. The more we work together, the greater impact that we can have. And then what does that do? That frees up more resources for some of our maybe lesser known, smaller organizations that are already doing really great things, like building schools and building libraries, raising money and educating about AIDS and HIV in Africa, raising the morale of our troops abroad, and supporting our veterans here at home. So why not work together? What's keeping us from doing that? My thoughts are, sometimes people have personal issues with other individuals who are leaders in other organizations. Individuals are looking for a resume builder, so they want to be able to say, hey, I was a founder of XYZ student organization. Some people just can't be bothered. The whole hashtag not my problem drives me insane. Maybe you've tried and the leadership of that organization just hasn't responded. But the big ones, people like that small group feel. It's where they find their family here at Penn State. Also, this is touchy. People think that their cause is the most worthy. So I think these last two that I have bolded are really what are at issue here at Penn State. But then they create even more questions for us to answer. How do we choose what's the most worthy of causes? What cause needs us the most? What about those that we left out because we've chosen this cause? Our organization has gotten too big. Our organization is so big, we're not sure who is doing what. My organization is so big that I really haven't had that opportunity to make really good close friends. And that organization is just so big, it's intimidating, and I don't want to go near it. So I think that these are the types of issues and concerns that I think that as faculty and staff and students that we can work through together. But I have my ideas on what we can do. Thinking internally to student organizations. Examine what you do within your organization. Look at your organizational structure. Are there redundancies? Are there gaps that you're not filling? If you see a place where it needs to be changed, speak up and make that change. Change is the only constant, but it is also one of the hardest things to initiate. But if you don't say it, who else will? And if maybe what's the worst thing that can happen? It gets voted down. So what? At least you've brought that issue to the forefront. People are now thinking about it. And that's how we bring change. Also, look at your membership. Do people feel welcome? Do they feel like they're a part of something? Do they even know what your mission and purpose is? A lot of the times they don't. And then we can go external to student organization, to your own student organization. Be the one to open that dialogue. A cool practice that I like to recommend is go to another organization maybe once a month. Go to their general body meeting. Meet with their leadership. Introduce your organization to their organization. Think about how your agenda lines up with their agenda for the year. Maybe there are some kind of hidden gems in there that you didn't think about that you two could collaborate and enhance what you are doing with one another. And if you don't find a way to collaborate, chances are with the amount of things you are all involved in, you can be a reference for the organization to talk to another organization on how they can collaborate. And then you've kind of started that ripple effect. So my hopes are that, I have my ideas, my colleagues have ideas, but we want to know what your ideas are as well. It's important because every student at a university should have the opportunity to take advantage of everything the university has to offer. And we have a ton to offer thanks to you. And I think you've probably heard a little bit about that in a lot of what Dr. Barron talks about, taking full advantage of your college experience. Don't just find that one connection and get stuck there. Find a way how that connection can get you connected to another connection and be that stone that can start that ripple effect. Unfortunately, what happens is that we find that niche and then we stay within our sphere of influence. I encourage you to step out of that sphere. Learn about what each other are doing, raise their profile along with your own. Why would you spend so much time and energy on something you're so passionate about that you let it falter? Why would you not utilize someone else's organization in order to advance your own? And then there's that mutual effect there. when I say take advantage of all the opportunities, there are staff here everywhere here to help you. Little shameless plug, here's some information about our office and how we can help your particular organization. You can then determine what our beliefs and values and customs are, which then determines our organizational culture. I'll leave you with this. There's a quote from Margaret Mead that was used in The West Wing, which is one of my all-time favorite television shows. The President of the United States in the show is talking to a newly appointed senior advisor, and he asks, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world." Why? Because it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you very much.